Okay, we're going to get ready to take the water pump off of the motor. So next step here. I don't have my knife, don't ask me why. If you're not reusing the old hoses, I always just cut them. There's no real point in trying to save them or anything. They're toast. And they're cheap, not even expensive anyway. So why not just say goodbye to them. I hate spring clamps. I think they were made by Satan. They're stupid and they're dumb. And they don't even do a good job of being a clamp. So what is their purpose of their life is nothing as far as I'm concerned. The only reason the car manufacturers like them is because it's faster to put together. That's it. They say otherwise, but they lie. If you can get a hose to turn, it'll come off. That's another little trick. We got 3 bolts here for the water pump. One here, one here, one here. If you can't get it with your gun, which this one's acting stupid, you can always break it free with a regular ratchet. Most likely my battery's getting a little tired here. That's what it's acting like. It's coming down to the end of its juice. Alright, there's that. Alright, you want to look in here when you pull water pumps off, because a lot of times when they start going bad, they eat into the surface right here. If they eat too much, you know, it can cause the water pump to not actually work properly, not pump properly. And a lot of people over the years, that's why they're having problems and issues with their water pump, your cooling system getting too hot. Now, this one is basically perfect. I mean, this pump was probably still good, but to be honest with you, it's, you know, 30 years old or something. There's no way I'm reusing it. But thankfully, this surface is amazing, so we don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So we got the water pump off. This surface is great. Really where I'm at now is I have to finish pulling out the pistons and cylinders. Now when you make sure that when you do that, you mark stuff, okay? Because, you know, if you're going to reuse your pistons and cylinders, which on this car, you know, they're original Volkswagen ones, they're actually in really good condition. So what I always do is I mark it. This one I took off already is number 2. I put 2 lines on here, scratch it on there. I put 2 lines here on the side. I put them together so that way I know that they go together. And then when I get ready to put it back together, you know, I know where it goes. So you've got on this side 1 is in the back, 2, right? And then on this side 3 and 4. Okay, so that is your numbering system. I don't know if it makes much sense to you or not, but that's the way it's set up. So I'm going to try to take these out. So why did I take the water pump off? Because there's a hole in here that is your only access to getting into this cylinder. Let me go ahead and try pulling this off real quick. Pulling this cylinder off here. It's coming off real easy. It's because this motor is really nice. There's nothing bad going on with it, except for the stupid stud getting broken off. But we'll fix that. Alright, so this one here is 4. I'm going to mark that on the side. Just scratch it on here so that you can make sure you see it. I mean, you can paint it on there with some white paint if you want to, but the problem you run into is that could get washed off. And just scratching it on here, I always use Roman numerals, that will not come off. Alright, so now that we've got this, we need to turn the engine until I can see the piston pin again. The easiest way to turn the motor is just temporarily put this pulley back on, and you can just turn it by hand real quick. So I'm turning it until this is lining up back with this hole here in this water pump housing area. That's really the only way to get into that. I'm going to try to show it on camera here if I can. Zooming in. Maybe let me scoot the camera over a little bit. Sorry about that. My camera work skills are just the best ever, I can tell. So you can see it right there. That's your piston, okay? That's the piston pin. That's the hole that's in the water pump. thing, you need yourself a pair of clip pliers, okay? Circlip pliers, which I got a nice pair of them right here. All right, and let me see where my flashlight is, because that will help. Or I can just turn on the phone flashlight if I can't find my real one, which was right here. Oh, here it is. All right, so let me shine in here. Okay, and you're looking for your circlip, which is right in there. The only thing that can happen if you're not careful is, you know, you could lose it in here, but most of the time you're going to be rebuilding these things anyway. So if you dropped it, you could always just get it back out with a magnet or something. Why is this thing being so loose? Okay, there we go. Take this off again because it's being away. It's acting like it wants to fall off. And that would suck. Okay. I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing here. It's very difficult. It's hard for me to see what I'm doing right now. Alright, there's that pin. That clip, I'm sorry. Got that right there. Now we're ready to take this out. These pins are really in there, really good. They don't like to come out. So what I'm going to do is use a slide hammer, which is how I got the last one out. Okay. It's a slide hammer that's made for, let me back up here a little bit. Zoom in too much. It's a slide hammer that's made for normally taking like blind pilot bearings and stuff out, but I can use it to get inside of the piston pins and grab them on the inside, and usually they'll come out with a little bit of persuasion. Let me loosen this up. So it grabs on the inside of it, and you know, that way if it does some scoring or stuff, it's on the inside. That won't actually do anything or hurt anything. So let me put this one with the piston that goes with. It's right there. You can buy this tool at Harbor Freight. It is not expensive. I'm trying to remember exactly how much it was, but it actually was not expensive at all. And you put it in there. Let me turn the light off, turn the battery down. And you just have to lock it. Once you get it in there, you tighten it up. You can actually turn this part. It expands and makes it so that it grabs, you know, on the inside of that pin. And you just want to get it as tight as you can get it, because most likely it's not going to come out on the first try. So just trying to get it as tight as I can here, but it's being a pain. Alright, I'm doing a video, so of course it's going to go terrible, I'm sure. So you just kind of do this number on it. Alright, I know it's slipping out, it's not even locking or anything, so I'm going to try to get it out here where I can get on it and lock it better. And maybe it'll do some work. You want to get it as tight as you can possibly get it, so it's really grabbing. Because even when you do that, it's going to slip. And you want to look in here too and make sure while you're doing it that there's nothing that it's hitting. It's coming through the hole cleanly, right? Oh, this thing. I hope nobody has epilepsy. Yeah, see what it did, but it actually started coming out already. So I can loosen it back up again and put it back in here again. And just keep doing that. Now the last one I did, I actually got it so far out and I tapped it back in again and then I pulled it back out and it came back a lot easier because there actually usually is like a ridge that's building up where that circlip was, and what can happen is that ridge, you know, is kind of preventing it from releasing. So if you can tap it back in, maybe spray some WD-40 on it or something, tap it back in, that ridge is gone. Now it should come out a lot easier the second time. So I'm going to bring it out a little bit more. Take the other pin, use that to tap it back in with some WD-40 on it, and hopefully it'll just pop right out of there like it should. This light wants to go AWOL on me. Alright, let me get some more juice on this thing, because like I said, the tightest you can possibly make it, it'll still stinking slip out of here like it's made out of soap. Alright, I mean that's in there pretty good. Let's try that. I dropped my wrench, it's here somewhere. I'm trying to watch it with the light too to see, oh my gosh, please stop doing that. To see if it's making progress or not. Yeah, I mean it made a little bit of progress, it came out a little bit. I think I'm going to put some stuff on it and push it back in. And then hopefully it'll just slide back out. Alright, that's what it did on the other side. But you have to remove this, you know, if you're doing what I'm trying to do, which is just do a top end redo. If I was doing the entire engine, I wouldn't even bother with this because then I never even reused the pistons either. So if I was doing the entire engine, I would go in here through the like in here through the side. Let me see if I got enough of an angle here so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me back up. So if I was doing the entire motor, I would kind of go in here with an extension and a 14mm nut or socket and take the two nuts loose on the rod itself at the bottom and just pull the whole piston and rod and stuff out. Because it's a lot easier to get this stuff with the rod completely out. I could actually take this thing to a vise and just push this stupid pin out in about 2 seconds and it would be all over. Instead, you know, doing it this way, you got to work at it back and forth a few times and it makes stuff a little bit harder for you because, you know, where's the challenge, right? If it's not a pain in the butt, then everybody would do it. Alright. Alright, let's see if I can tap this back just a little bit. Back in there. I can't really see what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. Whoever invented this light over in China, please get rid of the strobe light part. It's a great light. The strobe light part is the stupidest feature ever. It's really dumb and stupid. I guess it's supposed to, if you're stuck on the side of the road or something, it might do something for you. But otherwise, it's just dumb as heck. Alright. I think I pushed it back in somewhat. Alright, good. Yeah, we definitely did. And we didn't hurt nothing. Okay. Let me put this back. So anyway, you just keep doing that back and forth. And this will come apart. Let me try it one more time while you guys are watching. I might just, you know, pause the video or stop or whatever, because I hate looking like an idiot in front of everybody. And the last one I did, it took me multiple tries to get it, you know, actually done, and you know, it came out, but it just took work. Nobody wants to see all that back and forth crap, especially when there's no, you know what I mean? It's just work, that's all. There we go, get some more juice on this thing. You want that thing tight, boy. Alright. Are you gonna flicker? No. Okay, let's try again. Yep, it's just being, it's coming. It is coming slowly but surely. Let me try tightening it up again now that I've got it out so far again. You know, there's probably a better way to do this. I actually did have another tool that I had made that was like a piece of all thread and stuff, and that worked great. I could not find that. You know, I haven't done this job in years. As some of you guys know, I don't really do these mechanic jobs anymore. This is for a friend. This is not the first video of the Ken Wilford is going to rebuild everybody's motor, you know, in the future business or anything. This is just for friends. It's coming, trust me, it'll come out. But I'm probably going to stop it or pause it right there so I can just really go to town on this thing and not worry about looking like an idiot in front of everybody. So I'll bring you guys back once I get all these out, but that's the general gist of how to do it, you know. It's not really rocket science or anything. Alright, so please like, share, subscribe. I'll bring you guys back on the next video. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So I just worked it back and forth a couple of times and it finished coming apart. Here's the piston itself. No worse for the wears. I'm going to go ahead and mark it on the top like I was showing you guys so we know what's what. And we'll put this pin over there. So that's basically how you do it. You have to do these two first. So there's a hole here, and then there's another hole on this side where this one pipe goes in. Let me see if you can see that. Let me move this over or I'll zoom out a little bit more. So there's a hole here for this piston pin. There's a hole over here for this one. That's how you have to access. You have to do these two front ones first before you can even get access to the back ones. There's no way to do it. So, you know, taking it apart, you do these two front ones first. Doesn't really matter which one. Then on the back, same thing. You can get to the back ones, and you can access them through this hole, or you can access them, you know, from the fact that there's no piston here now. So it gives you a lot more room. When you go to put it back together, you got to do the exact opposite. You got to put the rear ones on first, and then the front ones. If you put the front ones on first, there's no access to put the rear ones on. Okay, and again, you know, normally there's no real access to this clip here either. I mean, I could have took it out, I guess, but there's no real reason to. So I leave that on. You can pull the pin out this way, and then you got the piston out. So that's it as far as removing pistons. If I wanted to be super whatever, I could have left the sleeve on it. But again, there's no real reason to do that. Like, I'm going to be cleaning this up. I'm going to be re-lubricating these ring lands and everything so that they're ready to go and the thing's ready to go back together. But this slide hammer, I'm telling you, this will save you a lot of time and effort on working on these motors. You can use it for this, you can use it for, if you have a manual, taking the bearing out, the pilot bearing out of the back of the crankshaft. You can use it for a lot of different things, and it comes in handy. So like I said, that was something I bought at Harbor Freight probably 10 years ago. It might have cost $30, $40, but you will definitely get use out of it. So that's it for right now. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these pistons out, and I have to take the rest of this stuff off of the motor so we can take it to the machine shop hopefully tomorrow. The machine shop guy will come pick it up, and he's going to be replacing our head studs for us and fixing the one broken one. You know, again, it's something that I could attempt to do, but I would rather him do it because he knows what he's doing. And if you can find a local machine shop that knows things, I mean, they're going to do a way better job than you. They know what they're doing, and they've done it for years and years and years. So he asked me, he's like, "Did you try to take that out?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "That's good. I can probably fix it then." If you tried to do it yourself and you drilled into the case or you broke off an easy out or something in there, that's just going to make it 10 times harder for him to do his job. So that's it for now, guys. Like, share, subscribe. We will see you guys on the next video.